You seriously bought him a PS4? My brother scoffed, already 3 beers in. What a waste of money. I looked across the Christmas dinner table, past the candles and cranberry sauce, to where my 10-year-old son sat, eyes wide, holding the one gift he'd been dreaming about all year. It's his first console, I said evenly. He made honor roll. I wanted to give him something special. My mom rolled her eyes. Kids need to learn disappointment. Life's not all rewards. Dad laughed. Besides, don't spoil him. He's not one of ours. The air shifted. My son shrank into his chair. I started to speak, then my brother stood, took the PS4 from my son's lap, and slammed it to the floor. The plastic cracked like a gunshot. My son gasped. Silent. Frozen. Then my parents burst into laughter. He doesn't deserve nice things, my mother said through a chuckle. You baby him too much. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just put my fork down, picked up my coat, took my son's trembling hand. We left before dessert. That night, I tucked him into bed with the softest voice I had left. Then I poured myself a glass of wine, opened my laptop, and pulled up the tabs I'd kept bookmarked for years. The next morning, I began unplugging every single wire holding their lives together. The first account I cut was their rent. They'd lived in that condo for 6 years, in my name. I'd never even charged them. Just wanted my son to know his grandparents. Wanted to believe they'd show up for him. But now I saw it clearly, they didn't even see him as family. I logged into the portal and terminated the autopay. 30 days notice. Then I opened the tuition account. My brother's tuition. He was 24, still flunking classes and partying on weekends, and I was footing the bill because he's still finding himself. That was Mom's excuse every time. One click. Cancel. Next, Dad's car. Leased under my company. Because his credit was wrecked. I scheduled the repo pickup for the following Tuesday. By 9 a.m., my phone had already buzzed with the first text from Mom. Mom, did you forget the rent payment? I ignored it. Dad, my bank says the lease is flagged? Still silent. But when the email came in at 11:14 a.m., I almost laughed. Subject, tuition payment failed, urgent. By dinner the call started. First calm, then angry, then desperate. I let them all go to voicemail. Because I knew something they didn't. I wasn't trying to hurt them. I was just done protecting them. And soon someone else would be calling. The police call came Thursday morning. I was making pancakes for my son, humming to the sizzle, when my phone lit up with an unknown number. Hello? Ms. Alden? This is Officer Ramirez with Westbridge PD. We're following up on a call from a Mr. Thomas Alden, your father. I kept my voice level. What's this regarding? He's reporting that a vehicle he's been using was repossessed without notice. He claims it was stolen. I almost laughed. That vehicle is leased under my business. He wasn't authorized to use it. Pause. Then Ramirez said, So, you're saying this was a voluntary revocation of use? Correct. He knew the terms. He just thought I wouldn't follow through. The officer cleared his throat. Understood. That resolves it from our end. Thanks for your time. Click. The silence afterward was delicious. By noon, Dad called 6 times. Left voicemails pretending to be calm, measured. Then Mom texted. Mom, are you seriously involving the police now? This is your father. My fingers hovered over the keyboard. Then I typed. He filed a false police report. That's not a father. That's a liability. I hit send and stared at the screen. Then I blocked her. Let them scream. Let them flail. This was no longer a tantrum. It was a transfer of power. By Saturday they showed up at my house. No warning. I opened the door to find my mother standing stiff, arms crossed. My father a step behind, red-faced and breathing heavy like he'd just lost a fight with his pride. My brother stayed in the car, staring at his phone, too cowardly to come face me. We need to talk, Mom snapped. I stepped outside and shut the door behind me, calmly so my son wouldn't hear. She didn't wait. You embarrassed us. That car was your father's only transport. Your brother's classes are on pause. And now the landlord's threatening eviction. I didn't embarrass you, I said. I stopped subsidizing your cruelty. Cruelty? She barked. We gave you everything. I laughed, cold short. You gave me trauma and responsibility. I gave you rent, education, and dignity you never earned. Dad finally spoke. You're blowing this out of proportion. It was just a toy. No, I said. It was respect. And you smashed it in front of a child. Mom's voice dropped to ice. So you're cutting us off? Over this. Not just this, I replied. But this was the last time you made my son feel small. They stared at me stunned. Then I added almost gently. You raised me to never let people walk all over me. Congratulations. It worked. They didn't leave quietly. My mom tried guilt. My dad tried anger. My brother even rolled down the window to yell, "You're ruining our lives." I didn't flinch. Just stood there, arms crossed, letting their tantrum burn out on my driveway. When they finally drove off, tires squealing, I went inside and made hot cocoa with my son. We watched The Incredibles for the 5th time. He leaned against me like he always did when he wasn't sure what the world would do next. But I knew what I would do. Because the power shift wasn't just financial now. It was legal. Over the years, I'd signed things without thinking. Added my name to accounts, insurance policies, even co-signed on their new credit card because we'll never use it much. I'd been their human safety net. Now I was unraveling every knot. I pulled my financials, canceled all open authorizations and filed a fraud alert on my credit. I froze my report, changed my banking passwords and emailed their landlord directly. They wouldn't get evicted today, but the rent was now their burden, not mine. And as I sat there watching my son laugh at cartoon heroes, I realized they'd always depended on my silence. But silence is a contract, and I just tore mine in half. Monday morning, I walked into work lighter than I'd felt in years. No secret weight. No gnawing guilt. Just clarity. At 10:07 a.m., I got the email I'd been waiting for. Subject: urgent, unpaid tuition, student account on hold. Attached was my brother's transcript. Flagged, frozen. He was one semester from graduation, and the school had officially locked him out. At 10:18 a.m., his call came in. I answered. "This is your fault," he spat. "I missed class this morning because they disabled my ID." "I warned you," I said calmly. "Actions have consequences." "Oh my God," he growled. "You seriously think you're better than us because you make money?" "No," I said. "I'm better because I don't destroy what I didn't earn." He hung up. At 12:34 p.m. I got a voicemail from my dad. Rambling. "Terry, I never wanted things to get this far. We were hard on you, sure, but it was to make you strong. We didn't know you felt this way." I played it twice. Not because I was moved, but because I wanted to memorize the sound of a man realizing he no longer had control. I saved the voicemail. Then I opened my legal folder and filed the final document, a formal cease and desist. They were using my social security number to open credit. Now, they'd face real consequences. Because love may be blind, but the law isn't. The letter arrived 2 weeks later, stamped with bold lettering. Notice of investigation, identity fraud. I didn't need to open it. I knew exactly what it was. I'd filed the paperwork through my company's legal team. Not to press criminal charges, not yet. Just enough to trigger a full audit. Enough to make them sweat. And it worked. My brother texted first. "Bro, did you really report us? They're saying we might get fined or worse." I didn't respond. Then my dad called. 6 times. Then an email from my mom. For the first time in her life, she apologized. Subject: Hazel, please. I'm sorry for the way we treated you. We should have never let things go that far. Your son didn't deserve it. Neither did you. Please, let's fix this. You're still our daughter. It should have meant something. But it was typed. Cold. Convenient. No call. No real ownership. And no mention of what they'd actually done. That night, I watched my son unwrap the new PS4 I'd ordered, this time with my name carved into a brass tag on the side. For Ethan. Love, Mom. He looked up, smiling. You didn't have to get it again. I kissed his forehead. Yes, I did. Because this time, no one would take it from him. Not ever again. Spring came quietly. No more calls. No more knocks. Just the silence of burned bridges behind me, and peace blooming in front. I never filed full charges. I didn't need to. The audit froze my parents' access to every account they'd quietly built under my name. Their credit plummeted. The condo was eventually sold. My brother dropped out, moved in with a friend, and took up bartending. They told the world I abandoned them. But I didn't. They abandoned decency. What I did was reclaim space. Not just for me but for Ethan. He was growing bolder now, cracking jokes, inviting friends over, sleeping through the night. I watched him laugh one afternoon while we planted herbs in little clay pots by the kitchen window, and I felt it. The quiet healing of a home where no one gets broken for loving too much. Then one morning a card arrived. No name. No return address. Just 6 handwritten words inside. You were never the weak one. No signature. But I knew it was from Ed, my old college mentor, the one who helped me land my job, the one who once said, "You carry more than you show." He was right. I used to carry my family. Now, I carry myself. And somehow, that's lighter.